Welcome back, sweet friends. How are you? While I'm finishing up my meditation there, I wanted to ask you, are you tired? Are you sore? Are you ready to run to the window and throw it open and scream into the night, I am mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore? Do you even know what that reference is, millennials? Well, welcome to Stronger Yoga. I'm your host, Scott Anderson, and I'm sore as hell today. So let's do some yoga. Place your hands on the top of your mat. Come into a tabletop position. We're going to begin with a little cat-cow breathing. So let your belly soften. Lift your eyes, lift your chin. As you exhale, round your back. Try to stamp your spine on the ceiling, pressing your chin to your chest. Reversing again, lift your chin. Let your belly soften, let your butt cheeks rise. As you exhale, round your back. Look where your belly button is, even if you can't see it under your shirt. And again, lift your chin. Look up at your eyebrows. As you exhale, round the back. You're really trying to use your palms against the floor to push your heart into the back of your chest. And then as we come forward, let the belly soften, let the chin rise, the butt cheeks rise too. There's a nice little curve in your back. And then the back rounds, pressing chin to chest and heart to the spine. Inhale, lift your chin, lift your butt cheeks. And exhale, push your heart away from the floor and press your chin to your chest. That's a nice way to start. We're going to go ahead and slide the left foot back, all the way back until you're laying the right side of your chest on your right thigh. Go ahead and step the hands out nice and wide. That'll give you the stability to begin to roll the hips and rock them to the right, towards the right butt cheek. And then we're going to go the other way, lifting the hips back to neutral, and then rolling the hips over to the left, trying to press that left hip bone down onto the mat. Back over to the right, trying to get the right butt cheek towards the mat. It's not important that it gets there. We're just rolling through that right femur. And now press left hip bone to the left side of your mat and back to the right. Just rocking back and forth. It's a gentle rock like Kenny Loggins, not like a hard rock like Judas Priest. That's a nice little, it just rocks just a little bit. We're going to come back to center, plant the hands, and step that left knee back to the right. We're going to round the back and slide the right foot back, all the way back until you're laying your chest on your left thigh. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Step the hands out nice and wide so your hands can help control that movement of the hips. And when you're ready, begin to rock over to your left glute. And these can be slow. You can be doing them a little faster, doing more than me. You can even go slower and do fewer than me. I just want to give you an idea for pace because, like I said, this is the practice for recovery when you feel really stiff, really sore, really tired, really achy, when you're pretty much like the only solution is to take lots of prescription medication and sleep for several days. Try this first. Just try this first. And then go to that if you still need it. You won't. Rocking from side to side there. Press that right hip down. Hold it there. Savor that moment. Savoring these positions that you find relief or release in, the way you would savor chocolate melting on your tongue. Now let's come into a child's pose for a moment. Go ahead and slide the knees apart and let the belly and the heart rest between the thighs. You can rest your head if you want to. But now we're going to go into a twist. Slide your left hand under your right armpit and then slide your right hand forward, and that's going to lift your hips, and we're going to pause when our hips are pretty much about over our knees. And we're just going to rest the left side of the temple on the mat and just breathe here. Just trying to create a nice long line from your right hand to your right hip, resting on the side of the face and on the left shoulder, and breathing. And maybe feeling a little regret. Maybe there's something you wish you hadn't done that has led you to this place. That would be fine. Reach back with your left hand and grab your right foot. Press your heel in between your butt cheeks, or as close as you can get it, and then lift the right knee up. Plant the left hand, step the right knee to the outside of the right hand, the right foot to the outside of the right hand. And you can begin to melt the hips down a little bit if you want. Push them back. Maybe you sit all the way back and straighten that right leg. Coming forward, lowering the hips down, letting them melt like butter in the sun. And then push them back. As you sit back to your left heel, straighten your right leg. Come forward again, hands at the top of your mat. Press the hips towards the top of the mat and down, lifting the heart. And again, we're going to slide the hands back and sit back. Now let's pause here, and with that right leg straight, just bow your head and bow your heart towards your knees, resting your hands on your mat. Bowing to your pain, bowing to your suffering. Submit. Recognize that even though you're a badass, everyone has their limits. And maybe today is the day where we say, I'm not going to go to 100. I might go to 20. Now the other side. Right hand is going to slide under the left armpit all the way until we can bring that right shoulder and the right side of the head down to the mat. Slide the left hand forward, causing the hips to rise and then rest over the knees. From here, we're just going to pause and breathe. And since we have those opportunities today to pause and breathe, it's a good opportunity to, in all seriousness, really pay attention to your body and the effects that what we do has on it, both positive and negative. Coming out, we're going to reach back with the right hand and grab the left foot. I paused there. I think I forgot what the hell was next right there. And then if you can, reach for the outside of the foot. That gives you the opportunity to pull more. And pulling the heel to your butt cheeks, lift the left knee up. So maybe we worked out too hard, or maybe we were doing a bunch of landscaping in the yard. Those are all great things. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Maybe you're hungover. I'm not here to judge you. Right, bring your heart forward. Oh, I'm flirting with myself there. I gave myself a little wink. Sit back to your right heel, straighten your left leg. It doesn't matter when you sit back how upright or straight your spine is. We're just trying to reclaim some space that those tight muscles have been denying our body of mobility. Bringing the heart forward, chest forward, and then sitting back to the right heel. Remember, sitting on your feet with your toes curled under has a host of really good benefits. We also have to increase range of motion at the foot. Resting the heart down, maybe to the thigh or near the thigh, just bowing. Go ahead and plant your hands at the top of your mat and step the left knee back next to the right. Now we're going to walk those hands forward. And again, we're going to bow. Rest your head on your mat with your hips above your knees. And then bring your palms together and press the thumbs towards the back of your neck, lifting your hands to the back of your head. And then lower your hands back onto the mat. We're going to do that again. And when you begin to draw your joined palms to the back of your head, really try to press those elbows down into the mat and feel that muscle flexion at the shoulder blades, or those muscles flexing. at the shoulder blades. Rest your hands. And let's do that one more time. Lift your joined palms. Press the thumbs into the back of the neck. Press the elbows into your mat. And then release the hands back down to the floor. We're going to come forward. And we're going to rest our belly down on the mat. Something akin to a Sphinx pose. With your forearms aligned like train tracks parallel to each other. I want you to lift your feet, press your knees down, and press your heart back towards your knees until your forehead can rest on the mat again. Then come forward until your belly and groin rests. Rest your feet. Press down into the balls of the feet to lift the knees. And then lift the feet. Press the butt back towards the feet and forehead to the mat. Come forward again. Rest belly, groin, and feet. Lift the heart, eyes forward. And then press back until you can place your forehead on the mat between your biceps. And then release. We're going to step those hands back. And then slide the left hand to the left. We're doing a shoulder roll. Man, I love a good shoulder roll. It's a great way to release the pecs. And without having to apply a lot of effort to it because most of our body is lying on the ground. Now, if you've got your right hand in front of a chest, you might be able to slide that right foot back and step it behind the left thigh and then draw your right knee away from the edge of your mat that you're looking at. Now, for more rotation, you can slide your left foot back. And with your feet planted next to each other, you might be able to get close to having both of your butt cheeks on the mat. Make sure you're putting a little pressure in that left hand. That resistance gives us an active stretch. Straighten the left leg. Lower the right knee and slide that right leg straight, rolling back onto your belly. Now we're going to prop ourselves up with the right forearm under the chin. Reach back with the left hand. Grab the left foot. And press down into the top of the foot, maybe even over the toes to press the toes down. Get the best stretch out of the front of your left shin. And release. Also a nice little release in the hip there. Now we're going to reach the right hand to the right, and we're going to roll to the right so we're facing left. Now if I go out for sushi, I likes me a good California roll. And if I'm doing yoga, I likes me a good shoulder roll. So rolling to your side, we're going to slowly begin. If you wish, if you're like, oh, it's good, I'm good right there, then that's where you need to be. To go a little bit deeper, slide your left foot back, planting your foot behind your right thigh. And then to go a little bit further than that, slide your right foot back and plant it as well. So your knees are pointing up at the ceiling. And that means your belly button is almost facing the ceiling while your chest is facing the side. So we're using the ground. Every time we put more of our body on the ground, we have more leverage. We have more of our body that we can place on the ground and use constructively to create this nice twist through the spine and an opening through the shoulder. Straighten your right leg. Lower the left knee, slide the left leg straight, and we're going to come out of that. And now we're going to slide the left forearm under the chin to prop up the chest. If we prop up the chest, we're going to have an easier time reaching back for that foot. And then working the hand over the toes, press the top of the foot down, the heel towards the hip. We're just trying to get some nice release of tension through a lot of our larger muscle systems. We're going to be using the floor a lot today. So, not sure, but I don't even think we're even going to stand up in this class today. This is all about recovery. This is all about recovering from that workout, from that hangover, from that hike, from that stressful, busy week. Now we're going to work on the neck. So notice I've got my hands here on the sides of the mat on the floor, and then as opposed to like a rabbit type of a position, I can control how much weight I have on my head by having my hands on either side of it. We're going to sit back towards the heels and lift the chin so that we can look forward. And then we're going to place our forehead back on the mat and begin to roll to the crown of the head. And again, using the floor against the head as leverage to turn it, pressing chin to chest, but also using the hands to control that weight. Press back and lift the chin. And then again, we're going to place forehead on the mat and begin to drive the hips forward and rolling onto the crown of the head, pressing into the hands so that we get that nice stretch out of the neck, but we don't get a lot of compression. And release, sitting back. We're going to walk the knees forward and turn to face the right side of the mat and step the right foot to the back edge. Rising up into Parigrasana for gate position. Reach your left hand into the air, right hand is on your thigh, and as I reach the left hand over, the right hand's going to slide down. So the right fingertips are just trying to take a journey to the ankle. You can pause anywhere. You know, your hand, right hand doesn't need to be where my hand is. But if you're reaching over and you're lengthening from your left hand to your left knee and feeling that deep stretch through your side, you're doing a wonderful job. Now placing the right hand on the floor, reach your left hand towards your right foot, and then using the opportunity here to twist the chest and the head. Releasing that, we're going to turn the right foot out. Bend your right knee, place your hands near your right foot, and begin to draw your hips and your heart closer to your right foot. And as we press and bend the right knee more, you'll feel that nice release through the left groin and inner thigh. Now we're going to walk the hands to the other side and grab the right ankle with the right hand and begin to lift the chin away from the chest. Notice that I'm looking towards the wall in front of the front edge of my mat while I'm kicking, lengthening from the chin to the knee. That's a nice length of a anterior line there. Now let's work on the other side. Everything's slow. Maybe that you're doing this on a Saturday. Maybe you're high as a kite, or maybe you're sober and just fucking slide your left hand down, reach your right hand up and over. That's the beauty of yoga. Yoga can strengthen us. Yoga can heal us. Yoga can calm us. It can give us clarity. It can give us energy. It can give us virtually anything we ask for as long as we breathe and we're willing. Lengthen through that right side and just enjoy the breath you're taking right now. Really appreciate the breath you're taking. Release. Now the left hand is going to come to the floor and your right hand's going to slide across your mat towards the left foot. Lowering the right shoulder, turn your chin, try to look up at the ceiling. And just breathing into that twist. There's so many different ways to twist that we can't categorize them all the same. Depending on your relationship to gravity, your orientation to the earth, face up or face down, it changes everything. Turning your left foot out, walk your hands to your left foot, and try to press your groin towards your left heel until you feel that nice little release of tension in the right inner thigh. Now grab a hold of your left foot, pull your heel to your butt, and then begin to turn your chest, turn your eyes so you're looking at the world sideways. From there, lift your chin away from your chest so you're looking at the world sideways near the wall to the back edge of your mat while you kick your left leg. And then release it. Now we're going to pivot back to face the top edge of the mat. Tired and sore can mean a lot of things. Like I said, maybe it's just you working in the yard. Maybe you've done too much yoga. Come into a pigeon, slide your right shin towards your wrist, and then plant your elbows. So even here, we're going to do just a little bit of mild work. As you rest your head on your stacked hands, point your left toes behind you. Press down into the top of your left foot so your left knee lifts. And then lower your left knee down and bend it so that your left heel is coming towards your butt. Lower your left foot, press down into the top of the foot to lift the knee. And then bend the knee and pull your heel to your butt with the hamstring. Press into the top of the foot to lift the knee and engage the quad. Nice little stretch there. And then relax. Lifting the head, coming back onto the hands, walk your hands to your right. What we're going to attempt to do is lay the heart on top of the inner right knee and rest the chin on the kneecap. It doesn't matter, again, it bears repeating, it doesn't have to look like this in your body. Maybe your body doesn't get there. But if you're feeling a sensation that feels uncomfortable, that feels like stretch, that's not painful, you're doing the work. Now release that. Lift that right leg in the air. We're not going to grab at that time. We're just going to lift it like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant, planting the left heel behind the right foot and turning into a gentle plank position. Reaching the right hand up and over. This time we're going to place the right hand on the top of the head. When we grip the head, our fingertips are on the left side of the skull. So when we press the left ear towards the left shoulder and even try to lift the right elbow away from the right hip, we're trying to see the world a little bit more upside down than purely just sideways, and trying to create more space between the right elbow and the right foot. Release that. Reset the hands and the knees. Press back. Take a nice deep belly breath. The belly pushes against the thighs, pushes back into the body. Come into a lazy pigeon on the left side. Slide your left shin behind your hands and then step the hands forward, lower down onto the elbows. We always have to negotiate and manage where is that foot underneath our hips. I could probably get my left foot a lot closer to the top edge of my mat. But I'm not trying really hard. I'm just trying to use the floor, put my body in certain positions in which it can rest and lengthen, lengthening at rest. But let's do a little bit of work. Bend your right knee, pull your heel towards your butt, flexing the hamstring. Press down into the top of the foot, lift the knee, and flexing the quadriceps. Bending the knee, lifting the foot, engaging the back of the leg in its most simple terms, right? That's what we're doing. And then pressing down into the top of the foot, lifting the knee, engaging the front of the leg. And whether we're strengthening, whether we're contracting, whether we're stretching, we're always trying to do that with the body. We're trying to work one side and then the other, and try to give our body more of the balance that it may not get through our ordinary lives. Maybe you're a golfer. Here's a good example. You always swing, if you're right-handed, typically from the right to the left. And that means your body is always like pulling right to left, but it never gets left to right experience. And that's why yoga, we're trying to give our body the same experiences on both sides. So go ahead and walk your hands to the left and rest your heart on your left knee. Rest the chin on the kneecap, breathing deep. Any of these positions, remember too, if they feel really good to you, just hit pause and hover there longer. Clearly, I'm enjoying this. All right, now we're going to release, plant the hands. Leave that right knee down, but slide it forward, and then lift your left leg into the air. Open your hip, bend your knee like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant, just to get that blood flow back into the left leg. And then we're going to plant the left foot, left heel behind the right foot, reaching the left hand up and over. Now that'd be a nice variation of a side plank, an easy version of a side plank, but we're really going for length here. So I want you to take your left hand and place it on the crown of your head such that when your fingers grip your skull, your left fingers are on the right side of your temple. Now if you press your right ear towards your shoulder and try to draw your left elbow away from your left foot, you're going to feel that nice lengthening of that lateral line. Go ahead and step your knees near the top edge of your mat and sit your butt down. Could it be we're already on our backs? Oh, this is wonderful. This is a good class. We're liking this, right? Go ahead and lift your butt, pressing into the heels, releasing those hip flexors. Notice I've still got space between chin and chest. Lower the hips. Draw your right knee towards your chest and capture your right shin with your stacked hands and pull the knee to the nipple. And then straighten your leg and move the hands to the hamstring, pressing the heel to the ceiling. And back to the shin. Hands press the knee down towards the nipple, the thigh to the belly. Release the grip, hold the hamstring, press your heel up to the ceiling. Bend the knee. Pull the leg to the torso. Hold the hamstring. Press the heel up and the shoulder blades down. And if you like, you can start to step your hands closer to your ankle. And you can pull, but remember, first, before you engage the biceps and start to bend those elbows, get your shoulder blades on the mat. Now bend the right knee. Reach the right palm over the toes so that you're pulling the toes towards the knee while you pull the knee to the floor. Left hand rests on the left thigh, and the left knee can drift left to counteract the weight that's being pulled down to the right. Now we're going to grab a hold of the big toe and then begin to drive through the right heel by engaging the right quadriceps. And remember, your leg never has to be straight here, just straighter. Breath is steady. We're taking the opportunity to enjoy being on our back and still receiving all the benefits of the work. Now place the right ankle on the left thigh and step the left foot to the right underneath the right leg as the right leg lowers towards the foot. This is basically an Agni Stambhasana position for the legs, or fire log position, laying down. But your knee may not come to rest. That would be normal. Now lift that right knee up, grab it with your left hand, and pull it down towards the other side of the floor, reaching right hand right and looking to the right for a supine twist. It's not your knee touching the floor, it's the rotation of your hips from your shoulders. So remember that knee may not come to the floor, and it doesn't need to. Now let's switch sides. Planting your right foot, pull your left knee towards your chest with your hands, and then move your hands to the back of the thigh as you straighten your leg and press your foot up to the ceiling. Bend the knee, move the hands back to the shin, pull the thigh to the body. Release your grip, move your hands. Grab a hold of the hamstring, press the heel up there. Bend the knee, pull it down. This is all self-induced relief and release, right? You can dial up, you can pull harder, you can press, you can engage any muscle more. Walking the hands up the leg, which would be down towards the foot in this orientation. And remember, pull the leg towards you as straight as you can get it, but keep your shoulder blades as close to the mat as you can while you do that. Bend the knee, Capture the outer edge of your left foot with your left hand. Let the right knee fall to the right. Press your left knee towards the floor. Let your right knee fall to the right. See, I'm so relaxed, I'm giving crappy instructions maybe. Now go ahead and grab your a hold of your big toe and press through the heel, straightening the leg. If you're feeling it, you're doing it. Now stepping the right foot to the left side of the mat and resting the left ankle on the right knee. We're going to see if we can't bring the left knee to rest near or on the right foot. And again, your knee might fall but still be sort of hanging in the air because there's still more tension. Maybe there's pain in the back. So anytime you're in a position, whether you're resting or whether you're active, if you're experiencing pain, that's something to move away from. But if you're feeling discomfort, you're there. And if you're not feeling enough discomfort, you're not quite there yet. So now let's guide that left knee to the right side of the floor with the right hand while we turn the head to the left. Pulling the knee down to get it towards the floor, not necessarily on the floor, just trying to turn the hips as much as possible from the shoulders, which are resting on the floor. So your shoulders on the floor is your grounding. That's the leverage. And then you just turn the hips. And you dial it up or you dial it down. Just like you would turn up the volume up or down on your stereo if it was too loud or if you couldn't hear it. The question is, can you feel it or can you not feel it? Now centering the glutes, bring both knees into the chest. If you're practicing alone in your apartment, this is a good time to let out a fart, and most fellas probably will. And some of you ladies too, let's be honest. We're going to go ahead and pull the knees towards the chest again. Pull the knees apart. Plant the feet. Push the knees towards the top edge of the mat and lift the glutes. And one more time. Pull your knees towards the sides of your rib cage. And now we're going to stretch those feet out. There's the credits. There's our executive producer, Rex Cedar. And we're produced by Terry Clark and Lee Clement, Kelly Gould, Claudina, Brian, JR, Leah, Andreas, Alex, Amy, Reese, Rachel, Amy, Nicole, Christine, Madison, Aaron, Cintra, Heather, Andy, and Virginia, also known as Gina. Those are our Patreon sponsors. You can be one too for as low as $5. Your dollars go to support the making of these videos that we're placing on YouTube. I hope you'll leave us a like. I hope that you have subscribed and hit the notification bell so you always know when we drop a new video. We're dropping videos twice a week, and it has been such a pleasure to be with you here today. And I hope it has been somewhat pleasurable for you as you're lying there in Shavasana, and hopefully not as sore as you were before. And maybe you're just as tired. Maybe you still have a headache. Maybe there's still some work to do. Maybe you need some Advil. Don't recommend it, but maybe you need some CBD. Maybe you need some THC. Maybe you need some TLC. Whatever it is you need, I hope you guys get it today, and I really appreciate you joining me. And I'll see you again in the next video. Namaste.